Before the great flood that changed the world forever, there lived a prophet who called his people to truth for nearly 1,000 years. This is the story of Prophet Nuh, peace be upon him, a tale of faith, patience, and divine justice that shaped human history. Long before Noah was born, 5 righteous men lived among his ancestors. These men were known for their piety and devotion to Allah. Their names were Wad, Suwa, Yaguth, Ya'uq, and Nasr. These righteous men lived long lives and were beloved by their people. When they died, the community mourned deeply. To honor their memory, people began carving statues of these 5 men, not to worship them, but simply to remember their righteousness. But then, time passed. Generations came and went. The original carvers died. Their children grew old. Their grandchildren forgot the true purpose of these statues. And Satan seized his opportunity. Legends began to spread. Stories were invented. People started believing these statues had special powers, that they could bring benefit or cause harm. And so humanity fell into the darkness of idol worship. It was in this darkness that Allah chose Nuh. Nuh was different. Even before receiving prophethood, he was naturally inclined toward truth. He was pious, truthful, and deeply grateful to Allah. Allah sent him with a clear message to guide his people back to the worship of the one true God and to warn them of the punishment in the hereafter. Nuh went out to his people and delivered a simple, powerful message. "O my people, worship Allah. You have no deity other than him. I fear for you the punishment of a great day." Nuh explained to them that having multiple gods was impossible. He told them Satan had deceived them for far too long, and it was time to stop this deception. He reminded them of Allah's blessings, how he created them, provided for them, and gave them the gift of intellect. On one side, the weak, the poor, and the suffering heard hope in his words. His call touched their hearts and showed mercy to their pain. They believed. But on the other side stood the chiefs, the rich, powerful, and arrogant leaders. They looked at Nuh's message with suspicion and hostility. Why? Because they benefited from the current system. The status quo served them well, and so they began their war against Nuh. The leaders mocked. "You're just a human, Noah. Why should we follow you?" But Noah never claimed to be anything else. He confirmed he was human, because Allah sends human messengers to humans. When the chiefs saw that the poor and simple workers were accepting Noah's message, they attacked from this angle. "You are only followed by the weak, the poor, and the lowly. We are the leaders and the rich. It's impossible for us to share one religion with them." Noah listened to their demands. He saw their stubbornness clearly, but he responded with the kindness and gentleness befitting a prophet of Allah. He explained, "These believers are not my guests to accept or reject. They are the guests of Allah. I cannot drive away the believers. They will meet their Lord. And who would protect me from Allah if I wronged them? I don't claim to have Allah's treasures or knowledge of the unseen. I don't claim to be an angel. Those believers you despise, Allah knows what's in their hearts and will reward them accordingly." The leaders grew tired of the debate. They had no real arguments left, so they resorted to insults and mockery. "Oh, Noah, you have argued with us too much. If you're truthful, bring us the punishment you threaten." And so the battle continued, hour after hour, day after day. Year after year, Noah called his people to Allah day and night, secretly and openly. He gave them examples, explained the signs of creation, and showed them Allah's power in the universe. But every time he called them to Allah, they ran away from him. Every time he invited them to seek forgiveness, they put their fingers in their ears, covered themselves with their garments, and became more arrogant. For 950 years, Noah persevered. Nearly a millennium of calling, teaching, pleading, and praying. Yet he noticed the number of believers barely increased, while the disbelievers only multiplied. Noah felt deep sorrow, but he never lost hope. He continued his mission with unwavering faith. From this, we learn that before the flood, human lifespans were extraordinarily long. Noah's extended life was perhaps a special miracle from Allah, giving his people every possible chance to believe. Then came a day when Allah revealed to Noah devastating news. No one else from his people would believe except those who had already believed. Imagine carrying hope for 950 years and then learning it would bear no more fruit. At that moment, Noah made a prayer against the disbelievers. "My Lord, do not leave upon the earth any of the disbelievers." And he explained why. "Indeed, if you leave them, they will mislead your servants and will not beget except wicked disbelievers." This wasn't vengeance. This was wisdom. Allah commanded Nuh to build a ship under divine guidance and with the help of angels. Nuh began by planting trees. He waited years for them to grow, then cut them and began the work of carpentry. The ark was enormous, built to withstand catastrophic floods and to carry pairs of every creature. Nuh spent approximately 40 years building the ark, and throughout those 40 years, the disbelievers mocked him relentlessly. "How will this ship sail, Nuh? On land? Look at the prophet who became a carpenter. He's gone mad!" They laughed because there were no seas or rivers nearby. The idea seemed absurd. "If you mock us, we will mock you just as you mock. You will soon know who will receive a humiliating punishment, and on whom will fall a lasting punishment." This was the peak of the struggle. Falsehood mocking truth. But their false security wouldn't last. The flood was coming. When the ark was finished, Nuh waited for Allah's command. The sign would be unmistakable when the oven, the tanner, overflowed with water. And then the terrifying day arrived. The oven overflowed. Nuh opened the doors of the ark and called the believers to board. The angel Jibril descended, bringing pairs of every animal and bird to preserve their species on earth. This detail tells us the flood would cover the entire earth, every land, every mountain. But how many people believed? According to Ibn Abbas, only about 80 people. After 950 years, only 80 souls. Even Nuh's own wife didn't believe. And one of his sons, secretly a disbeliever, also refused to board. Then the heavens opened. Rain poured from the sky in torrents. Water burst forth from the earth. Oceans overflowed their boundaries. The water rose higher and higher over trees, over hills, over mountains. The entire world was drowning. In the chaos, Nuh saw his son trying to escape. Nuh cried out, "O my son, board with us and do not be with the disbelievers." The son shouted back, "I will seek refuge on a mountain to protect me." Nuh cried out, "There is no protector today from Allah's decree, except for whom he shows mercy." Then the waves came between them, and the son was among the drowned. Out of mercy for Noah's heart, Allah drowned his son away from his sight, so the father wouldn't have to witness that final moment. The flood continued until every living thing on earth perished except those aboard the ark. It was an event of unimaginable power, demonstrating Allah's absolute control over creation. The ark floated on waves like mountains. Then Allah issued his command, "O earth, swallow your water, and O sky, withhold." The water subsided. The rain stopped, and the ark came to rest on Mount Judy, and it was said, "Away with the wrongdoing people." The earth was purified. As peace returned, Nuh remembered his son. He had thought his son was a believer who simply tried to escape to the mountain. So he called upon Allah, "My Lord, my son is from my family, and your promise is true, and you are the most just of judges." Allah replied with words that must have shaken Noah's heart. "O Nuh, he is not of your family. Indeed, he was of unrighteous conduct. So do not ask me about what you have no knowledge of." In that moment, Noah learned for the first time that his son had been a secret disbeliever all along. Here we learn one of the most important lessons of this story. True family is faith, not blood. The son of a prophet is only truly his family if he believes in Allah. Blood relation means nothing without faith. Noah immediately repented for his request, and Allah forgave him. Nuh descended from the ark with Allah's blessings upon him and the believers. The animals dispersed across the earth, repopulating the world. The believers began building a new civilization, one founded on the worship of the one true God. According to traditional narrations, Nuh had 4 sons. Yam or Canaan died as a disbeliever in the flood. Shem was the ancestor of the Arabs, Ham of Africans, and Japheth of the Turks. From these three believing sons, humanity spread once again across the earth. So what can we learn from the story of Prophet Noah? Patience in the face of opposition. Noah called his people for 950 years. He never gave up, even when results seemed hopeless. The struggle between truth and falsehood. Truth may be mocked, ridiculed and rejected, but it will always prevail in the end. Family is defined by faith. Our true family consists of those who share our faith and values, not merely those who share our blood. Wealth and status mean nothing without faith. Allah's timing is perfect. The punishment came exactly when it needed to. Not a moment too soon, not a moment too late. The story of Prophet Noah isn't just ancient history. It's a guide for anyone who stands for truth in a world that often rejects it. For the preachers and believers who feel discouraged when people don't listen. For those who wonder if their efforts matter. For anyone who feels alone in standing for what's right. Noah's story tells you, keep going. Stay firm. Your reward is with Allah. Thank you for watching the story of Prophet Noah. Peace be upon him. If this story inspired you, please like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more stories of the prophets. May Allah protect you all and grant us the patience and faith of the prophets. See you in the next story by Allah's will.